Welcome to day 7 of our Market Mastery series. Today, we're diving into something that is absolutely fundamental. We're going to talk about who you are really trading against. And here's a little secret. It's probably not who you think. Okay, so just picture this. You're on your app, you've done your research, and you hit that buy button for a stock. Who do you think is on the other side of that trade, selling you those exact shares at that exact moment? I mean, really think about it. Who is that person or that thing? Maybe you're imagining another investor, kind of like you, sitting at home just making the opposite decision. And yeah, sometimes that's true. But the players who actually move the needle, the ones who really shift the markets, they are in a completely different universe. Remember yesterday we talked about positioning, how those big players getting stuck in a trade can cause these huge market swings? Well, today, it's time to officially meet those players. So, in this whole market ecosystem, there are really just 4 main groups of participants. And it is so important you get this because only one of those groups is you. First up, let's start with the one we all know best, retail investors. This is us, you and me, anyone trading from home using awesome platforms like Zerodha, Grow, or Upstocks. So what defines us? Well, we're usually trading with capital that ranges from maybe 10,000 rupees to 50 lakhs. We get our information from public sources, the news, YouTube, social media, and our decisions, they can take hours or maybe even a few days. And here is the most important fact. No single one of us, no matter how good we are, can move the market, not even a little bit. Okay, next up, we have the DIIs. That stands for Domestic Institutional Investors. Think of these guys as the Indian giants. We're talking about all the big mutual funds, massive insurance companies like LIC, and the pension funds that manage our retirement money. These institutions manage thousands and thousands of crores. And every single month, a tidal wave of SIP money floods into their accounts. And guess what? They have to invest it. This makes them a steady, consistent buying force in the market. And what's really cool is they often act like a cushion or a floor when the market starts to fall, helping to stabilize everything. Now for player number 3. And listen up, because this is probably the most powerful force in our market, the FIIs, or Foreign Institutional Investors. These are the big, global players. We're talking about huge hedge funds from New York, sovereign wealth funds from Singapore, all looking to invest their billions in India's growth story. But here's the catch. Their decisions aren't always about how well a single Indian company is doing. They're driven by massive global factors, like what the US Federal Reserve is doing with interest rates, or how strong the dollar is. If their global risk calculations change, they might pull money from all emerging markets at the same time, including ours, no matter how good things look locally. And this really shows you their power. When FIIs are selling day after day after day, our markets will find it very, very difficult to go up. It's almost a rule. It doesn't matter how great the local news is. And finally, player number 4, well, it's not even human. We're talking about algos and high-frequency traders. These are incredibly sophisticated computer programs that are built to execute thousands, sometimes millions of trades in a single second, all to profit from tiny price differences that you and I would never even see. Let's be crystal clear on this one. You cannot beat them on speed. You will not beat them on speed. It's impossible. Trying to day trade against them is a losing proposition from the very start. That is just not our game. So now that we've met the whole cast of characters, let's take a hard, honest look at the picture. Where do you, as a retail investor, actually fit in this whole ecosystem? Here's a simple but powerful way to think about it. Retail reacts. We see a stock shooting up on the news, and we jump in. Institutions position. They spend weeks, sometimes months, slowly and quietly building a huge position for a move they see coming way down the line. This chart really just lays it all out. Look at the row for retail. Small capital, slow speed, and public, often delayed information. Now just glance down at the others. The difference in scale, it's just staggering, isn't it? And that brings us to the single most important, honest truth of this whole explainer. I really want you to let this one sink in. As a retail investor, you are the smallest, slowest, and least informed participant at the table. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds really discouraging. But it's not. I promise. In fact, it's empowering. Because the moment you accept that reality, you can stop playing their game and start playing your game. So does this mean you can't win? No, absolutely not. It just means you have to stop trying to beat them at what they're good at. You have to play a completely different game. Look, their game is speed. Your game is patience. They might have better information. Your game is discipline. They are forced into daily action. Your game is having a long-term horizon. You have to use the advantages that they simply don't have. This is your superpower. Seriously, institutions have clients and quarterly performance reviews. They have to be trading all the time. You don't. You can wait patiently for the perfect opportunity to come to you. Your ability to do nothing is a massive edge. So how do we make this practical? Let's build one simple, powerful new habit that you can start doing today. From now on, just take 30 seconds each evening to check one piece of data. We're the FIIs net buyers or net sellers for the day. This data is public and it gives you a huge clue about which way the biggest money in the market is flowing. So I want to ask you, and be honest with yourself. Before today, did you really understand who you were trading against? Because once you see the game for what it is, it changes everything. Okay, so now you know the players. The next logical question is, how in the world do you make decisions in a game like this? Well, tomorrow on day 8, we're going to look at the one simple piece of math that ultimately decides whether you make money or lose it. You are not going to want to miss it. I'll see you then.